Hello dear children, today we are going to study about the lesson 4 from our English fairy book, that is Saving the Birds. The author of the story is James Baldwin. James Baldwin was born in Indiana, the United States of America. By the age of 24, he had made a career as an educator and administrator. He was an extremely popular writer and wrote books for children on subjects like legends, mythology, biography, and literature. He wrote over 30 books about famous people in history. He also retold classical tales. This story has been taken from his book 50 Famous Stories Retold. In this lesson, we will be introduced to a story on the theme of a great man's love and tenderness for one of the God's tiniest creation. Contextual, inferential, and extrapolative questions, the significance of empathy, different parts and figures of speech. Saving the Birds is a story that narrates in the early life of Abraham Lincoln. As a lawyer early in his career, Lincoln was riding through a country road one day with other lawyers when he rescued robin chicks lying in the grass, blown away from the nest by a storm. Although the other lawyers rode on without caring for the little birds, Lincoln stopped and gently put the birds in their nest despite being laughed at by his fellow lawyers. The main characters of the story: first lawyer, Mr. Speed; second lawyer, Mr. Hardin; third lawyer, it's unknown in the story; fourth lawyer, Mr. Abraham Lincoln. In this story, we will come across some new words and their meanings. For example, selfless. That means thinking more about other people's needs or wishes than your own. Fluttering sound of wings beating. Feeble, weak, heartily, loudly, worthless, of no value, perish, die. Let's enjoy the story.
Saving the Birds. One spring day, 4 men were riding slowly on horseback through the countryside.
What is the matter here? Oh, it's only some robins. The storm has blown 2 chicks out of the nest. They are too young to fly, and the mother bird is worried about it. They're only birds. Why should we bother?
As the 3 men passed by, the 4th man, named Abraham Lincoln, stopped. He got down from his horse and very gently held the little ones in his big warm hands. Then he looked up to find the nest from which they had fallen. It was much higher than he could reach, but Mr. Lincoln could climb. He put the birds gently, one by one, into their warm little nest. They all cuddled together happily. Soon the 3 men, who had ridden ahead, stopped at a spring to give their horses water.
Where is Lincoln?
A few minutes later, Mr. Lincoln appeared. His shoes were covered with mud. His coat was torn.
Where have you been? I stopped to return those birds to their mother. Well, we always thought you were a hero. Now we know it.
The 3 lawyers laughed heartily. They thought it foolish that a man should take so much trouble for some worthless little birds.
Gentlemen, I could not have slept tonight if I had left those helpless little robins to freeze in the wet grass.
Later on, Abraham Lincoln was elected President of the United States.